All right. So, we're on the road again. Getting back on the road again. All right, boys and girls. We just finished training some people. Thursdays we have a early morning, do a lot of training. Got clients to train on Thursdays. It's a long day on Thursdays, but luckily we don't got to work out today, don't got to do any cardio because of that. Got like 15,000 steps already for the day, so we're rolling solid when it comes to activity. We're just going to try to focus on everything else today, which is nutrition, sleep, recovery, and hydration. Getting good balanced meals. Also, going to go see Demon Slayer tonight, so that's going to be super fun. I'm really looking forward to that. Bro, I think Zenitsu is going to go off. I really want to know what happened to him, like why he's so locked in, like bro locked in like last season, man. Like at the end of it, for some reason, he got that note, man. Like I'm super excited, bro. I'm going to go in my Rengoku shirt and my flaming socks, represent my boy Rengoku. But it's gonna be a good day, guys. Hit a little pose down earlier today in between clients, and my back was looking solid. Love that. Very happy. I was talking to my clients today, man. In my gym, they like us trainers to push the supplements a little bit, I'm not gonna lie, guys. Like, I don't push them that hard, even though it's my job. Mostly because the thing about supplements is they're just that. They're supposed to be supplements. They're supposed to help you supplement, not replacements, So I don't ever tell anyone they need any kind of supplements, But I tell them they would be helpful for them, if they're lacking in certain areas. So just try to be honest, man. Honesty is the best policy, right? But got a little coffee, a little Starbucks black coffee earlier. Sipping on that. Gotta have some coffee, man, for these 4 a.m. shifts, bro. They're crazy. But, that's the thing about being a trainer. If you guys ever want to be a trainer, realize that you will be working very irregular hours because everyone else works outside, or most people work around 9 to 5-ish. So, let me fix that. Whew. Okay, I think that's better, yeah. But most people work around the hours of 9 to 5 or like 8 to 6, so most people are going to be trying to train outside of those hours. That's why the gym is always so busy between 5 and like 7:30, 8 o'clock usually, guys. It's because everyone's getting off work. And if you go early in the morning, usually between like 6, 7 a.m., there'll usually be some early birders before work, But definitely that crowd is a little bit less. But especially if you guys are waking up early in the morning, man, number one thing I was telling my clients today, you guys gotta be practicing and focusing on your sleep. Sleep is beyond probably the most important thing when it comes to any of your fitness goals, like period. Whether it's trying to lose weight, whether you're trying to bulk, put on muscle, you just want to look leaner, even if you want to stay the same weight, like you want to do a recomposition. If you do not have your sleep on point, pretty much nothing else matters. Literally, like pretty much nothing else you are doing matters if you're sleeping like 4-5 hours a night and you're not recovering. Like, you gotta recover. It is easily the number one most important thing in my opinion. I put my priorities in this order. 1 is sleep. I will skip a workout if it means I will get less than 8 hours or insufficient sleep. 2, nutrition. Always be in the calories that you're trying to be in for whatever goal you're in. If you're trying to lose weight, you got to be in a deficit. If you're trying to bulk a little bit, small surplus. If you're trying to recomp, eating right around maintenance, maybe a small deficit, okay? If you, and then number 3 is daily activity. Daily activity meaning the number of steps, how much I'm totally walking, and the amount of activity I'm getting throughout the day to keep my metabolism burning around those same calories. And then number 4 is the actual workout itself. Because guys, the point of working out isn't to burn calories. That's not like, yeah, you can but that's more so for cardio. Like cardio and your daily activity is more what's going to burn more calories than your lifting. Oh, but the afterburn, the 48 hours, well, shut the fuck up, all right? We're not worried about that. We're talking about daily averages, all right? And the truth is you're not burning 500 calories doing a weightlifting workout, okay? So focus on the sleep, the nutrition, and then the daily activity, and then the workout. The workout comes last. Remember, you're only working out also like an hour a day, and you should be for like maybe 4 or 5 days a week max. Maybe some of you bodybuilders out there are doing 6 days. You know, if you're on a little juice, help you recover, you can do 6. But most people are not recovering, not going to be well off enough doing 6 days a week or, you know, like that. So you gotta do 5 days and you gotta recover, and the place you recover is your sleep, man. So if your sleep is out of whack, then freaking forget it. Like literally forget everything that you're doing. It basically doesn't matter. Like the point of working out is just to get a stimulus. The point of sleep is for recovery. And recovery is what leads to everything that you're trying to do. Whether it's build muscle or lose weight, sleep is also where you burn most of your fat. So if you're trying to lose fat, fucking sleep more. And you'll lose more fat, I promise. Like one of my clients, the biggest thing we've had to dial in is getting her sleep right, because she used to love to go out and party and stay out late, man. And it's like, you know, if you want to stay out late, that's fine, but you got to still get your 8 hours of sleep. And if that means you're waking up at 11 a.m., so be it. You know, it's your life. You can live it however you want, you know? Like, if you're not messing up your responsibilities, then fine, right? But she had responsibilities, so she had to get up early, you know? And it's like sleeping 4 hours a night is not going to cut it. So, very, very much was preaching that today to everyone. Like, every client, like, how was your sleep? How'd you sleep tonight, you know? So, really, really trying to preach that today, guys. And nutrition, number 2, if you're on a surplus and you're trying to lose weight, I think we both know how that's going to go. I think we know how it's been going. You can't out-train a bad diet, and you can't out-recover bad sleep. Sorry about that, I got a phone call. But anyways, yeah, as I was saying, you can't out-train a bad diet, and you can't out-recover bad sleep. You need to keep your daily activity up so that your metabolism can stay around where you want it to be, and you don't want to have to reduce your calories, especially if you're on a cut, man. That's one of the biggest mistakes I used to make, was when I would stop losing weight, I just start cutting more calories. And I realized that's not really what you want to do. Ideally, guys, you want to try to increase that activity level. If you're not losing weight, try to increase your activity level, like by a few thousand steps. Like if you're getting 8,000, try to go to 10,000. If you're getting 5,000, try to go to 8,000. If you're getting 10,000, try to go to 12,000, okay? Do that instead of reducing your calories. It's easier to get 2,000 extra steps. It's like 15 minutes of walking at a brisk pace. Like 15 minutes extra of walking versus cutting out an entire meal every single day. You know what I mean? It just adds up more to more calories burned, more daily activity. It's gonna play your metabolism a lot better in the long run, okay? And remember, the workout itself, the whole point of it, man, is just to produce a stimulus for the muscles to grow. That's the whole point of working out. Working out isn't to burn calories, at least when it comes to weightlifting and stuff, you know? Like, yeah, when you're doing cardio, the point is, yeah, to burn calories a little bit. But usually the point of cardio is also to get your heart conditioned. Make sure you have a healthy heart, Really, calories burned more so are going to come from your daily activity, compounded with the amount of muscle mass that you have. So if you want your metabolism to increase the amount of steps and increase the amount of muscle mass that you have, go on a bulk. Don't bulk too hard. Small surplus, 100 to 200 calories extra. Should be gaining like a pound a month. The last bulk I did, I think I went from like 165, 166-ish to like 180 in a span of like 12 months. So it was like, like basically a pound a month, maybe a little bit more, like 1.1 or something. So, you shouldn't be going too crazy on the bulks. Unless if you're, pinning, juicing, whatever you want to call it, sipping, slurping, jerking, I don't know. Unless if you guys are doing all that stuff, you're probably not going to want to bulk super hard because you're not going to be that anabolic, if you're a natty. It's going to be a slow, gradual process. But you guys got to look long term. Look at the big picture, man. Like a year from now, where you could be. This is another thing I had to point out to one of my clients today. We get very impatient as human beings. I've been working with her only for a couple of months, and she's down almost 20 pounds, which is great for a couple of months, But she still has a long way to go. And all she sees is that long way to go, like in terms of the total amount of weight, But she's not able to put it into perspective of how quickly she can get to her physique goals, If she wants to lose, let's say you're someone who wants to lose 75 pounds, right? Let's say you weigh 225 pounds, you're a guy, and you're like 5'6", and you want to weigh 150. You want to get shredded. You lost 20 pounds in your first 2 months, right? That's pretty good. You're down to 205, things are going steady. In 2 months, that's like about a little over a pound a week. If you keep doing the math, within a year, you'll be at that 150. Within a year, and that's even if you took a break or two for a month, Like, you got to look at the big picture of where you will be a year from now. And when you look at it like, oh, it'll only take me about a year, or maybe even a year and a half, maximum 2 years to lose all of this weight, if you really stick to it and build these good habits, and good habits like small changes, switching from Coke to Coke Zero, getting a low sugar coffee, things like that, low calorie stuff, changing your cheeses to low fat or fat free, increasing your protein intake. All those small habits compound to big results, and they compound to big muscle gains, which leads to more fat burning, and it just all compounds on top of each other. You got to look at the big picture of all these small things that you are doing are molding this sculpture that is your body. That's why I always say that fitness is an art form, and that your body is a living sculpture that you are sculpting and crafting with all these little skills that you are developing, The same way that an actual sculptor has all these different processes for carving the marble, etching, hardening, sanding. They're all different skills that go into the process of just being an artist for sculpting, And when you compare that to like bodybuilding, it's like, let's say the sanding it down to create fine details and etches, we can call that the tracking your calories, That's tracking your calories in a deficit. And then when you want the stone to look bigger and you want to add things to it, like, I don't know what exactly it's called when like they take wet clay and put things on it and then dry it, But pretty much that whole process, look at that as like your bulk, and being able to do that correctly without making your sculpture look like all fat or look too round or something. You want it to look etched and detailed still. Like, that's your lean bulk skill, And all of these things go into the skill of bodybuilding in its own art form. That's why they call it an art form, is because like any art form, there are a bunch of small skills that compound on top of it to make the great artist. Okay. At least that's just my opinion and how I see it. So a little bit of advice for you guys, man. But yeah, it's gonna be a good day. Gonna go see Demon Slayer. Can't wait for that, man. It's gonna be good. Gonna go with all my friends, my girl. That'll be a good time. Gonna do some more work today. Trying to write an ebook for you guys on like my training and stuff, because I'm not very good at saying things very like articulately, I guess. Like maybe you guys like the way I say things, which is great. I appreciate that, but I know that like sometimes videos aren't the best form for people, so I'd like for there to be a way for people to consume this content in a very streamlined, here's everything all at once, like here's my philosophies, my training, here's how I would suggest a plan and structuring your own training. And you know, that's the thing about like training, guys, is like eventually you guys are going to have to realize that you can't keep copying everyone else, and you got to build your own plan. That was literally the biggest thing like a couple of years ago that hit me in the face, was when I realized how much of an art form this was, is I can't keep copying others. I need to build my own plan that works for me. But that plan and building that is going to come with experience, time, and knowledge. And you know, honestly, you know, I know I'm a coach, but I'll probably never coach most of you guys because this is the internet. There are millions of us out there, and you know, I only live in one small part of the world, you know, so that's why I truly do suggest hiring a coach, though. For most people, like if you really want to get into weightlifting and bodybuilding, you should hire a coach, probably for the first year, maybe 2, just once a week, maybe twice if you're really dedicated and you really want to learn. Because like an art form, this is a skill with a lot of very small things that compound, and you have to develop and learn them on top of each other, you know? And it's like, if you were trying to learn how to play the piano, like, yeah, you can go on YouTube and you can search up, you know, piano guides and all this stuff and learn yourself, totally. But everyone knows that the best piano players have a coach. They have an instructor, someone there who physically teaches them, even if it's only once or twice a week, and then they give them homework to do and practice on their own, and they teach them, you know? So I really recommend, if you guys are struggling, if you're really struggling with not knowing what you're doing, invest in a coach for a little bit. Like seriously, like if it hasn't been working for you without a coach, and the information you're getting just doesn't seem to be working, find a coach that you trust who isn't feeding bullshit up your ass of like, oh yeah, you can be a bodybuilder and you know, you can step on stage, be Mr. Olympia in 2 years. Like, don't fall for those kind of guys, you know, but find a coach who you trust, who is going to teach you. Like, that's really important, is don't find a coach that is just trying to trap you in the cycle of constantly needing them, you know. Find a coach that wants to teach you how to do what they're doing, you know. And that I think will help a lot of people like get to that next level. You know what I mean? Yeah, some advice. It's not mandatory, but I really think a lot of people could benefit from it. And again, that's not just me saying that because I am a coach. I genuinely wish that I had the money to invest in a coach when I first started this, when I was really young and started weightlifting and stuff. Because like, and especially for the nutrition and diet, and someone to teach me how to make meals that taste good and stuff, like that's honestly super important. Like, that's really not a number one, but something really important that a coach should be teaching you is how to cook properly, how to make substitutions to make your meals healthier. I really wish I had the money to invest in that. Like, genuinely, guys. Like, yes, coaches can't be expensive, but I wasted a lot, and I mean a lot of time, like finding false information, misinformation online, people feeding BS, like just trying to sell supplements and shit, you know. And I'm older than I look, guys. I've been on the internet for a long time. There's been a lot of people selling shit forever, bro. So you know, guys, like, it's a really valuable resource if you can take advantage of it, a good coach. So something I definitely recommend. But if you don't have the money for a good coach, here are some YouTube channels that I would recommend, okay? First one, a little controversial, Greg Doucette, okay? Greg, yes, he's a parrot, he yaps, goes on rants. I don't like watching his stuff all that much anymore because just too much drama. But he gives really good advice when it comes to training, guys. Really good advice when it comes to training and nutrition. Listen to him. He's just talking like the truth, man. Train hard. Train harder than last time. Push yourself. You should be going damn near to failure every time. And that's really how you're going to gain muscle, especially if you're in a deficit still, managing your volume, first of all. But yeah, really listen to what he's saying and not how he's saying it. And I would also recommend maybe looking for his cookbook somewhere, wink. Look for his cookbook on his website. Look for his cookbook on his website. If you can afford it, great. If you can't, find it other places. Find a friend who's willing to share it with you. I don't know. But he's got a good cookbook. I've seen it before. There's some really good stuff in there. But it's like the way he makes meals that are still normal things. Like, it's not like, I'm eating 6 eggs and figs with honey or something. It's like, here's French toast. Here's a lower calorie burger. Here's a lower calorie chicken sandwich, And it's like, his cookbook really shows you how to make those lower calorie substitutions and stuff. And he really preaches training harder than last time. And that's really something that people should be doing more, is training really hard. Like, since the science community blew up, like a long time ago, a lot of people are trying to keep that reps in reserve, and I think that's a big mistake for a lot of people. Another guy I'd recommend, of course we all know him, Sam Solik. Mostly for the vibes. For the vibes, dude's got a genuine passion for lifting. I feel like he helped bring that passion out in me again and helped me find that passion. So I really recommend Sam for that passion, for those vibes. And not only that, you're good, bro. Sorry. Thanks, brother. Sorry, guys. Maintenance guys, they were in the middle of the street. I was telling them they're good, I'll wait, but they moved out of the way for me. Yeah, Sam Solik for the vibes, man. Dude's got a genuine passion for lifting. Really recommend his stuff. He trains super hard. And not only that, the way he approaches fitness is a really healthy way about like everything being kind of individual. There is no one size fits all thing. And yeah, I think a lot of people could benefit from watching Sam. I'm here home already, but I'll keep yapping for a minute. Then last channel. Which one would I recommend? Let me think about this for a second. Let me think. He doesn't really make fitness content anymore. But if you guys know Alpha M, check out his old videos. He used to make some good stuff. I really liked him back in the day. He doesn't make much fitness type content anymore, I think. But check him out if you like him. He gave some good advice, natural bodybuilder as well. Who else would I say? I like Alex Eubanks. Yes and no. I think he's a great role model in some aspects. I think he's not in some other aspects. But I think for those of us who are religious or devout in our faith and like to implement that into our kind of content, then he could be the kind of guy for you, I also think that Renaissance periodization, Dr. Mike gives a lot of good advice. However, I think a lot of his stuff is a little over jargoned. Like, I know that's probably not the right way to say that, but I think it's a lot of jargon in terms of just a lot of adding scientific words to make it sound better than really what it is. And I think a lot of people are, he doesn't necessarily do anything like that I don't like in terms of like what he preaches, but it's like just the same kind of science-based traps of like, they hear him say, oh, training with reps and reserves shows a little bit better gains. And so people think that's an excuse to take it easy. But that's not really like what he's saying, you know? And when you know how to actually train to failure and judge your reps in reserve, then it's okay to like take that advice. But I think truthfully, most people really don't know how to train to failure and utilize their muscles the way that they need to. So I recommend more of just take his advice with a grain of salt in terms of the just training to failure aspect. You know, I think take his advice on body mechanics and designing your workout, meals and food timing and all that stuff. I think he gives a lot of good nutrition advice too, though. But yeah, guys, I think that's it for me today. I'm gonna go inside. I've been training clients all morning. It's like almost 11 o'clock, and it's ready. I'm ready to eat some, not breakfast, but my meal number 2 at least. So, hope you guys have a great day. I'm gonna go see the Demon Slayer movie, and tell me what you guys think. If you guys see it also tonight, I'll see you guys later. Peace.